Let's go ahead and kick this one off. I'm excited and not at the same time to talk with you today. Tim Robinson, our annual sports podcast. How we doing, bud?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And I'm glad we're a little bit far removed from the national championship. I've had some time to digest. How are you doing?
I'm still on cloud nine, man. I've been handing out cupcakes, Alabama cupcakes to these Ohio State fans. Been still gloating a little bit, man. We reliving that beatdown that happened. It was like 52 to 14, 21. It was pretty bad, man. It was
It was
pretty bad.
bad. Yeah, yeah. It was bad, man. Yeah, it was going into the game. Where were you at with confidence level?
Confidence level going into the game, I will absolutely say, man, it was one of those games where I was like, this is going to be an Alabama win. It might be, I said the game, I said it would have been like a 2 to 3 touchdown game. I thought Alabama, offensively wise, they were too explosive, man. And Ohio State's DBs, I know that they get, credit and props for being shut down cornerbacks and all that. They didn't play good in the 8 games that they had. And they were going up against Devontae Smith, and he was been a problem all year.
Dude.
And that just passing attack for Alabama was it was too much for anybody, man.
Dude, it was killing me. Remember, this makes me remember the national championship between Clemson and Bama when you were just like, oh my God, his name just escaped me. Quarterback for Clemson.
Which one? Lawrence, Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, Lawrence. And you were just like, it's not fair. He's not human. He's not like, there's no way he should be able to do that. I was looking at the passing attack in this national championship game, and I'm just sitting here like, he's just faster than everyone.
And the craziest part about it, I laugh and I tell people, Devontae Smith won the Heisman, but going into the season, he wasn't even the Heisman favorite. It was, of course, Trevor Lawrence and Jalen Waddle. So Devontae Smith was actually Alabama's number 2 wide receiver. And because remember, Jalen Waddle got hurt. Jalen Waddle was racking up yards. Jalen Waddle was making plays. Jalen Waddle was actually Alabama's number 1 wide receiver. He got hurt. Devontae Smith's Slim Reaper stepped up and killed it. And that's what I was laughing at when I'm looking at the game. And I'm like, of course, I'm in Ohio. This is my country in Columbus, Ohio, Alabama. And everybody's like, remember what we did to you last time? We're going to beat you down like we did last time and all this. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, you guys don't have an answer and they're talking about they're going to get Jalen Waddle back. Like, how are you going to cover Waddle, Meacham, and Smith? And they're like, oh, we got the answer for that. We got Sean Wade and Sevyn Banks. And I said, all right, man, we haven't been watching the same game. So if you think that's the answer, and then when the game started, Sean Wade called out like, hey, who do you want to cover? He's like, you know who I want to cover. And I'm like, oh God, no, you don't. No, you don't. And we saw what happened in a half. So I mean, it was it was pretty bad.
Dude, I was definitely sketched out with the whole passing tag going into the national title game after watching the Clemson game. Like, and dude, I don't know what it was with Sean. He looked confused out there. Like, there were times. Remember I think it was a couple years ago in a playoff game. I can't remember. I think Harden was with the Rockets, but he looked like he was drugged. Like when he was out there playing on the court. Like, I'm watching this game against Clemson, and I'm just like, he just looked like
he couldn't.
I don't know if he was concussed or like.
He couldn't cover him. I mean, like at the end of the day,
whatever it was, he couldn't cover him, bro. Dude, it was wild. So then going into the national title game, I was just like, well, I hope Clemson was not a snippet of what's to come. And then I was just like, oh shit. But I really think that if Ohio State would have had more games, it would have been more interesting.
I think it might have been a little bit closer, but at the end of the day, I think I think it still would have happened because if you look at it in that way, and I totally understand. So Ohio State's fans' excuses for that game were just like, hey, we had injuries, we had this, we had that. And I'm sitting there looking and I'm like, well, Alabama was missing the Bremerton Award winner. That's the best center in the country. He got hurt. They were missing Jalen Waddle, the wide receiver. He got hurt. And they had another lineman get swapped out. And I'm like, so they weren't even that. And then if you remember the game, Mac Jones was limping at halftime.
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, let's be real here. Like, if Alabama was 100% full healthy, like, don't get it wrong. I still think it might have been a close game, but just remember how Ohio State wanted Clemson because Clemson beat Ohio State. They wanted Clemson badly.
Dude, I wanted that game. So I was
with Alabama. Because the last time Ohio State beat Alabama, and all you heard was Ohio State. You guys are like, since then, Alabama won 2 national championships, and all you heard was, oh, you lucky you didn't play us. You lucky you didn't play us. And it's like, wait, what? So it's like, okay, that's what you wanted. It just did not go down.
That's what I don't get about fandom. I'm like, oh, you're lucky you wouldn't have done this. You're lucky. Like, it happened the way it happened. Like, I don't like the whole, like, I don't know, excuse game or saying that, oh, because injury, it would have been nice to have a full healthy squad. Yes. But to say that it's an excuse, it's like, no, because I'm an Ohio State fan and we've talked about how we won the first playoff with a third string quarterback. At all Ohio State fans gloat on that. So if you're going to say that, oh, we lost because somebody was out, it's like, you can't do both.
Exactly. You can't have it both ways. It's either you're happy you guys won that game and that's the way Ohio State rolls, or it's we got lucky that this happened. Like, you can't keep using that as an excuse. And that's just like what you said, man. That turned into what it was. It was a borderline excuse just to it was a bad game for Ohio State. Let's just put it in the nicest of terms. It was a bad game, man. And I think Ohio State, they're still a good team, man. I'm not denying them. I don't want to any shade about them, anything like that. Like, they're still a great team, and they're still going to be, in the top. But overall, I mean, the Big Ten's got to get better, I feel. That's the big.
I don't know. At this point, I'm kind of just even being like, what is Michigan doing these days? Like, it's been non-competitive for so long that
I don't know how they keep getting ranked. That's my question, man. How does Michigan still keep getting ranked?
I don't, probably because of the name that goes with it. Like, is Harbaugh a good coach, or is there just I don't think he's a good coach, because you've had how many chances and it's not been looking good. Just been
I'll give Harbaugh 2 losses that were on, in my mind, suspect reffing. The JT Barrett butt first down. That definitely wasn't a first down.
Oh, you can't be playing these excuse games after we just got done talking about excuses. Come on, man. It happened how it happened.
So that's what I'm saying. So it happened. That's like one where you could be like, damn, like, we lost that game on a close call. Right. Like we lost that game in a close call. So I'll give them that. Then the next year, something happened where it was another like PI call that could have went, again, both ways. Michigan lost the game. So you give them. Then the next year, you come and get whacked by 30. Next year after that, you get whacked by, then it's kind of like, all right, bro, like, yeah, like, I can't defend you anymore. Like, like.
And I know you want to be able to talk shit to all the Ohio State fans, too.
Yeah, I want to be like, look, like, those 2 games, you could talk shit because you're like, hey, it was a close call. You guys won. You won. But if it was in Michigan, it might have happened a little differently. Next year in Michigan, it's like, close call, whatever. Yeah. Next year, you get whacked by 30. I don't know what to tell you at this point in time. Like, and then they re-signed him to a new contract. That's the part that got me.
It's like,
Wow.
because I'm like, for sure he's not gonna make it now. And then I'm like, what is going on? Like that, I'm with you though. The whole division needs to step up.
Because I mean, it's almost like the second best team is Northwestern, and that's not knocking them, but
No,
like, who would have ever thought Northwestern is a powerhouse? Like, you know what I mean? Like, nobody's like, hey, if I got all these schools offering me, nobody's gonna be like, you know what? I'm going to Northwestern.
yeah,
That's just no, that's not
no,
happening, man. Like,
no,
that's not happening. But again, they're fielding a good program. They're fielding good players. They're playing sound. They're playing discipline. Just when it comes time, you got to think they're playing those guys are the some 4-star recruits, some mainly 3-star.
yeah,
They're playing up against the 6'5", 330 line. Like, it's just,
yeah.
and you've been all season long. Now you come to that game and it's too much, man. You know what I mean? It's too much asking.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying with the. I know I'm going back to making excuses again, but the 7 games. It's just what a crazy ass season. What a crazy ass like time in history for sports and just everything. But the way that they have done that they have tried to make sports work. It's been odd. It's been
It
odd.
is. So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Before I know you're gonna want to flip from college, but I got one question for you. Do you or do you not? Do you think Ohio State should have made it to the playoffs?
Oh yeah. I think they're easily one of the top 4 teams in the nation. Yeah, I definitely think they're one of the top 4 teams in the nation. I mean, it's again 7 games and they go and beat Clemson when Clemson has been their Achilles heel. And it's not like Trevor Lawrence got worse over the years. I mean, he's still legit, but
Yeah,
it's I think they have a powerhouse of a football program there. It not necessarily is going to be um, when it comes to national titles on like a Bama level right now because they just yeah, Bama's got the dude they
the
got
it factor.
they got it figured out like Saban and what he's doing there. It's I mean they're in the conversation every year. It's not like they're garbage. They're one of the best programs in the country. They've been one of the best programs in the country for a while, and I think Ohio State is up there too. Yeah, no, it might not. It's not to that level because you can't. You put. Well, where'd you go? Okay, you put. If you put just it's black and white, man. You put title against titles. That's how we figure this stuff out. And Ohio State doesn't have as many, so there it is.
I feel you. My only thing, and I'm not denying that Ohio State was not one of the top 5 teams in the country. My thing was they made the precedence beforehand that, all right, you have to play these games. You have to play these games. And Ohio State didn't. And I
Yeah,
feel like
because there was some sort of a rule you had to have a certain amount of games,
you
right?
had to have, yeah, it was like 8 games or something like that. You
Yeah,
had
and
to have,
that's why the Michigan game was such a big deal. It's like, oh,
yeah, yeah. I think Michigan did that too to make it where Ohio State couldn't get in.
oh man,
That's why I brought that up, because I think Michigan was like, yeah, nah, we're not going. Neither are you. And then they
yeah.
not
Oh man,
anyway.
that I can see why everybody else would be pissed, but I ain't mad
Yeah,
at it.
yeah. When they said Ohio State was in, I was like, all right, this is strictly a money move. And then
Oh
Ohio State went
yeah,
in and beat Clemson. I'm like, I mean, they got this one right. It's one of those ones where it's like, all right, man, I'm putting 100 on black, and you see the wheel turning, and it's like, fuck, I hope it hits black. I hope it's black. Yes! Like, it's one of those. That's what I feel like
dude.
they did right
Because
there.
if they would have got slaughtered by Clemson, it would have
Yeah,
been
oh
like,
yeah, no,
oh no,
yeah.
not again.
Never would have heard the end of that one. Never would have heard the end of that.
Never would have heard the end of it. But I think when it comes to, and we'll transition to another league or sport or something here. But when it comes to Matt Jones and Fields, who do you think's gonna transition better?
Honestly, I think it'll be Mac Jones. And the only
Matt.
reason why
Yeah, I said Matt, didn't I?
no, you're fine. Mac.
Okay.
Only reason why I think Mac is because I think Mac will get a possible longer chance to ride the bench to
Ah,
see how the league works a little bit more than Justin Fields will.
oh, he's gonna get thrown right in.
Prototypically, Alabama and Ohio State do not produce NFL quarterbacks. And I was having a conversation with a friend the other day. The reason why I feel they don't produce NFL quarterbacks is not that the guys aren't good. They're good in college. But the problem is, it's easy to hit a wide open wide receiver. Look at Alabama's wide receivers. Let's just face Alabama's wide receivers for the last 4 or 5 years. All right. You've got Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith.
Mhm.
Before them, you had Henry Ruggs, Jerry Jeudy. Before them, you had Amari Cooper, OJ Howard, and before them, you had running backs you could dump the ball to the flats with Ingram, Richardson, Lacey, Yeldon,
Yep.
Drake,
Yeah.
all these guys in the NFL. And before that, you had Amari Cooper still, you had Julio Jones. Like they've produced wide receivers who are literally starting NFL wide receivers who are dropping 1,000 yard. So it's kind of easy if I drop back and it's like, all right, I'm throwing the ball to Julio, and then Julio breaks for 99. You know that like
Yeah,
if
yeah.
if you look at Ohio State, they've had Michael Thomas, they've had Terry McLaurin, they've had Ezekiel Elliott to dip it down to, they've had J.K. Dobbins breaking tackles to drop it down to. Like they've had historic good wide receivers. Farrell Brown, like if I'm throwing to these guys and they're wide open, it does make me look good. It's like, oh my God, you made that phenomenal throw. And it's like, all I had to do is just get the ball near him. He's
Yeah.
going to catch it.
Yeah.
You know, then they transition to the NFL. They don't do good. You look at AJ McCarron didn't do so hot. He made a couple starts, didn't do so hot. Greg McElroy didn't do so hot. You go
JT,
Ohio State.
JT didn't translate well. Cardell didn't translate well. Neither did
Didn't translate good. None of these quarterbacks translate well. They're throwing to wide open wide receivers. They really haven't had to sling it in the pocket. You look at Russell Wilson at Wisconsin, or no, he was Nebraska, wasn't he? No, he was.
Nebraska and then Wisconsin, I think.
You got to think who was his receivers that he was throwing to?
Nobody knows.
Yeah, you know, like you can't name them. Drew Brees at Purdue. Who was Drew Brees throwing to? Tom Brady at Michigan.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
These no name
Yeah.
come from these programs where they've actually like you legit have to be a quarterback.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, don't get it wrong, he was throwing us some wide, but they were running 5 wide, and he actually could sling the rock.
Dude.
The jury's still on him, but I think he's going to be, a good NFL QB.
I
But for the
think
most
Burrow's
part,
gonna be nasty. Yeah.
you look at these QBs who are in the league starting, none of them were high profiled. Like you are the apps. Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield wasn't. He was good in college. Don't get it wrong, but I mean, he struggled a little bit in the NFL, right?
Of course.
He make that transition. Like it's these high profile QBs. They're getting to the league, man, and they're not doing what they're doing. You know what I mean? Just like it's easy when you're at these big time schools to throw to wide open wide receivers.
Yeah.
It makes it a little easy,
Like Manziel and Evans, like that connection is just like throw the ball up, just yeah.
Look, he's gonna make a catch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jamarcus Russell, he had I forget exactly who he had at the time, but Jamarcus Russell had a stud group of wide receivers.
Yeah.
And I forget exactly because
Did he have Odell and Jarvis?
I'm not sure if he had Odell and Jarvis. I'm not sure on that.
Okay.
But I remember LSU had a stud group of wide receivers that year.
Okay.
And it was just like Jamarcus Russell then gets to lead. Can't read a playbook, can't throw the ball. Like, how did you do this in college? Oh, because you were throwing to the, like, throw a fade route.
But he can get on one knee and throw the ball really far.
Yeah. It doesn't work like that in the league.
Well,
but
I think I agree with you with the whole transition to the NFL thing with the quarterbacks with Bama and Ohio State. I am curious to see how Fields does though, because he has looked different to me than most Ohio State quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just because I've like over the last couple of years, man, he has all the passes. He has the touch pass. He can zip it in there with a lot of velocity. He has the deep ball. He has the out route. He's making NFL throws on Saturdays, like, and they're accurate.
I
And
absolutely agree.
mm,
My thing is he doesn't really have to dance around that pocket. And Ohio State's for the last 2 years, and I'll be the first to tell you, except for when they played Alabama. Alabama figured out a way to get after him because
oh yeah,
Ohio has a good offensive line. I will say that on paper, record, every day. They have a great offensive line.
yeah,
He got to stand in that pocket for 3, 4, sometimes 5 seconds, clean pocket, and make a throw.
yeah,
Dance a little bit, make a throw. In the NFL, bro, you literally have 3 seconds,
oh yeah,
and you better get rid of that ball. My
yeah,
thing is how, and that's where it goes back to that transition in the league. How are they going to be able? Can they make that throw with 3 seconds? Made the read, made the throw.
mm-hmm.
4 seconds, made the read, made the throw. Because I mean, you got Myles Garrett breathing down your neck. You know what I mean? Like you got Chris Jones from the Chiefs coming straight up the middle at you. You got Aaron Donald busting down your neck. You got Shaq Lawson and Barrett on one side coming. Like you
Yeah,
got people on TJ Watt. You got people on your the moment that ball is snapped.
yeah,
Are you able to see that and make that throw? And I think that's where a lot of them struggle because, again, you have so much time, and then if you get in trouble, like Johnny, sling it to Mike. Let's just Mike make a play. Like,
yeah. Oh man. Well, let's kick it over to the NFL since we are kind of talking about it a little bit. What I know you're talking about Baker, and I was wondering about this season. I was like, this is going to be the season to tell which way he's going, because first season, he gets in, has some electricity. It's like he gets pumped up. He's getting all the commercials. He's getting all the attention. Tanks the next season, and now this past year, I was like, well, let's see. I actually liked what I saw when I saw the games.
I'm I'm still indecisive because the Browns were able to run so much that it
Yeah,
never put Baker really in a situation to, all right, I need to win the game throwing the football. I need to do that. I'm not 100% convinced he can do that unless he gets on the same page as Odell. They have to make something happen or they have to trade Odell. I
yeah.
think where the Browns lost against the Chiefs, the Browns got so lucky that your boy Patrick Mahomes got hurt.
Dude, I
He
was
comes
like,
in,
if there's any given moment that you can win this game, like
this is
now's
it.
it.
This is it. And Chad Henne comes in the game, and the Browns could not throw the football down the football field. They couldn't do it. They just literally could not throw it down the field because they don't have a receiver that can stretch. I think Jarvis Landry, and I've said this, I think the world. The man is phenomenal.
Yeah,
A burner. He's not going to beat you deep.
no,
That's just his game. He's not beating you deep.
right.
You run a good in route, a good out route. He's going to catch it. He's probably going to break a tackle or two and
Yep.
get you some more yards. But he's not a burner.
No.
Odell's a burner.
Yeah.
If you can't stretch the football field, it condenses it down.
Yeah.
What did the Chiefs do? The Chiefs stuffed the Browns' run. The Browns couldn't really run. So
Yeah.
they had to think of other avenues. And they had nobody to stretch the field. And that is your number one receiver. You somehow, some way, you got to get like, because if they're relying on Baker to kill people with these underneath routes, you see what happens. He's going to throw them picks, and it's going to come in the worst situation because I'm not fearing you. Like people don't fear the Browns throwing the ball. It just is what it is. They're almost daring the Browns to throw the ball, and if him and Odell can't get on the same page, then I mean somebody's got to
I
go.
mean,
Do you
dude,
pay Baker
like
130 million?
he's making throws though. Like I'm not saying that he's going to be the Tom Brady type person that you're like, okay, with 2 minutes or a minute left, I want to rely on him. Like it's too early in his career to be like, oh yeah, he's that dude. But he's going through progressions. He's not patting the ball as much as he used to last year, and he is making throws. And there are some, like I think it was Higgins, the one where the controversial where he was diving for the end zone,
Yeah. Yeah.
and there was talk about controversial plays. The illegal shot.
Bad
Uh,
call. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Bad.
yeah. So it's like that kind of thing. It's like I feel like those get lost when we're talking about stuff like Baker, because it's like, hey, like that ain't Baker's fault. That ain't even Higgins' fault. Like really, because if he makes the play, he's the motherfucker. He's that dude. But if he doesn't, it's like, oh shit, like why did he try that? And it's like he's trying to make a play. Like I think
Mhm.
everybody's trying to make a play, and it looks like they, at least to me, watching the shit show of the Cleveland Browns since '99, it looks like they're actually building something.
Mm-hmm. And I absolutely agree with you. My thing is, to me, this is the proving year for Baker, if more than anything. You got
This one coming up.
contract. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you had a rookie contract. Second year, he didn't do so hot. Third year, Browns did good.
Yeah.
Fourth year, so you're coming up on Baker's contract. All right, pick up the fifth year. He has a new coach, new system in place. He's been there. The Browns need to get healthy on defense. That's a whole separate note.
Yeah.
Offensively, he has to find a number one wide receiver that can stretch the field. If the Browns can't find that, and you have one, like you have one in Odell, is it safe to pay Baker Mayfield? Baker Mayfield's not going to take a hometown discount. Let's be honest. He's not going to take one. He's going to want 120, 130 mil. He's going to, because that's going to be market value for a franchise quarterback. Do you really pay Baker Mayfield 120,000 for five? Me personally, man, I can't ride out with that, man. Like, I don't think he is the 100. Now, he would be great somewhere, and he'll be a good quarterback. Just, I don't know if I'm the Browns, especially knowing everybody else you got to pay, if you pay him that much for that long. Like, this to me is the tall tale season. If Baker can get that connection with Odell, and if Baker can get that connection, like, where it's consistent, where I know, like, Patrick and Kelsey, it was Cam and Olsen.
Yeah.
It was Russ and DK. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like who it's Peyton and Marvin Harrison. Yeah, yeah.
You can get that. Don't get it wrong. Landry is always going to be your bailout. If shit's going bad, let's just get it to Landry. And Landry wants to be a Brown and stay there. But we got to get somebody who can stretch the field over the top. Because if you don't have that, again, what the Chiefs do, they're going to condense the field. They're going to shut the run down. We're going to make Baker throw the ball. Can Baker beat us? The jury's out on that with me. I'm not sure if he can just.
Yeah. Because right now, to me, Baker is more of a game manager. Like he's really good at managing the game. And I agree with your point. It's like you can't shell out top money to a person that's a game manager. You got to shell out top money to the guy that's going to get you, like Mahomes. Like some of the throws that he made in that Super Bowl.
You're like, how?
It's those glitches in the video game. Like we witnessed a glitch in the Matrix. Like that's what happened. It was just like, holy shit, the ball made it there, and he should have caught it. What?
It's the Russell Wilson. All right, I done stepped up in the pocket. I done broke a sack, and now I'm throwing down the field. It's the Kyler Murray scrambling out the pocket, making something happen. The Lamar Jackson. It's these guys are game changers. It's the
Kenny just getting that.
Yeah, it's the Justin Herbert. You know what I mean? Like
it killed me when Chad Henne picked up that long ass run. I was I was just watching that like, oh no. Out of all things in the world, I don't even think Chad Henne could have picked that to happen.
Here's my thing. This is what I was confused about, and I'll still say it now. When he went down, Chad Henne gets inserted into the game. The Browns are still playing pass defense with Chad Henne on the football field. I would have been like I'm not even joking with you. I would have coach as a linebacker and been like, who the fuck is that Chad Henne? Hey, all blitz.
Go, go,
Engage
go,
eight.
go, 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 go.
I'm bringing the fucking house. Listen, hey, I need you DBs to play. Hey, look, 2 people cover Tyree. I need 1 person to fucking Shady Kelsey, fucking bump him on the line. I'm not worried about Watkins. Mikael Hardman ain't really doing too much. Fucking blitz Chad Henne, bro.
Yes.
I saw him come in the game and they ran 2 run plays back to back and got like 15 or 16 yards on the 2 plays. And I'm just sitting there in my head like, what? Do you really think Chad Henne's about to throw the ball right now? Like, Chad Henne's not throwing the fucking ball. Not.
And when he did, he gave him a fucking prayer. He was just like, hey, 50 cents, woo! And we got that 50 cents, and then we threw it 3 times in a row and gave the ball back.
I'm just sitting there and I'm like, bro, Chad Henne's in the game. What is going on? I'm seeing right now? Did I miss something?
Dude, I didn't even know he was still in the league. Like, and man, it's just, yeah. But the thing is, my Super Bowl was them beating the Steelers. I know that might be sad, but for me, I can't get mad at the fact that they won a playoff game. And they beat the Steelers twice in one season. The only thing I wanted out of this season was for them to beat the Steelers. I've as a fan, I've been tortured by the Steelers for so long. And it goes all the way back to freaking college when I was at Bowling Green and Ben Roethlisberger came in and shut the house down at Miami of Ohio and beat BG. And then he goes to the Steelers and does what he's been doing all these years. Mm-hmm. So
it's
that's my Super Bowl.
I said the Browns going anything under 8-8 for the Browns would have been a loss this year. On paper, they had the best possible roster offensively, besides maybe Tampa Bay or the Chiefs. Offensively, you got 2,000-yard running backs, 2 solid running backs.
Yeah.
You got Landry. You've got Njoku, who in my mind is actually a really good tight end. I think the Browns need to go ahead and just trade him, let him go. Like, get rid of him and get something for him. But you got Njoku, and you also got Austin Hooper. You on paper have literally possibly one of the best offensive sets besides, like I said, maybe Tampa Bay or the Chiefs. You should be able to put points up. Browns should be able to put points up. And then the Browns offensive line came out and played better than anybody ever thought that they would. The number 1 rated offensive line. You got to be able to put up points, baby. Why are we not able to, why are we not able to put up points here? Yeah. That's why I said, and what you said, you hit it on the head. Baker's a game manager right now. Like, if he takes that step, I will say, hey, yo, all right, man, go ahead. But right now, you can't pay $120,000 to a game manager because Baker's not going to take a hometown discount. Let's be real here. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. It's it'll be interesting to see what they do, man. I feel like they've got a 1 or 2 year window to really see what they can do with all this. Because another thing that comes into play here is this is Baker's 3rd coach in 3 years.
Yep. And that's why I give him a pass in a way.
Yeah. The fact that he's actually gotten better and he looked better. He looked more comfortable this year. He looked like he was getting into a rhythm this year. I was just, with all the craziness that's been going on, I'm like, I ain't mad at it. I'm actually looking at it like, okay, let's see what happens here. Let's see if they can actually build something.
Yeah, he could have turned out like Sam Darnold. See how that's going.
Yeah.
Not good. Not good.
Yeah. It's true. But I like it felt like the NFL got shook up, man. We're seeing teams like the Bills making it further. Like, haven't seen that happening since the 90s. And, you got Tampa Bay, man, like, what the fuck, man? Tom Brady, just everybody who thought that it was just a system thing, it's like, well, guess not.
So here's my gripe with Tampa Bay, and I'm going to be that guy. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it ahead of time. I'm going to be that guy.
Perfect.
Tom Brady did not go to a bad team.
True. This is true.
Tom Brady went to a team that was already good.
This is true.
He had a very bad quarterback.
Yeah.
Yes, when Tom Brady went there, he brought Gronk there with him.
Yeah.
They got they had McCoy. They got a couple more offensive weapons. They went and drafted a line, which they would have drafted that line either way he was there or not, because they needed to work on that line.
That defense is stacked.
Yeah, they already had a good defense. Yeah, they added 2, and they added, I think, a cornerback as well. So they added a couple pieces to defensively, which I'm not denying that. But people fail to realize they were almost a playoff team with Jameis Winston, and that man threw 30 picks in a season. Like, I want people to let that sit in. Jameis Winston threw 30, not 10, not 20, 30. He literally was 30 for 30. Like, he's going to be on ESPN. What if we told you? 30 touchdowns for 5,000 yards in a season, and his team almost made the playoffs. But he also threw 30 interceptions. Like, that can be a 30 to 30 story. Like, if he doesn't throw 30 picks, they're in the playoffs last year. Like,
oh, okay.
Like,
So, hypothetical off of that. Now we were just talking about on paper how stacked the Browns team was. You put Tom Brady in Cleveland.
They're going to the playoffs. They're going, like, they are absolutely going to the playoffs, and they're possibly a Super Bowl contender. Because here, think about this. The Chiefs went to the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Chiefs went to the Super Bowl. Browns had the Chiefs in a situation where you don't get that call. Maybe you're giving the Browns the ball on the 2-yard line, and you need to stuff them, and they got Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb.
Right.
Browns are going to get the end zone.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
The Browns are going to get the end zone. So you're talking about the Browns in a league with Chad Henne playing.
Yeah.
The Browns might win that game.
Right.
The Browns might win that game. And then who did the Chiefs beat to get into the Super Bowl? They beat
Bills, I think.
Yeah. So maybe the Bills beat the Browns, maybe they don't. That's a we'll see type of game. But the Browns are, say, 10 minutes from making it to an AFC Championship game. You're going to give Tom Brady the same weapons he has. It's like, again, remove Jameis Winston and put a good quarterback. Super Bowl playoffs, Super Bowl. Remove Baker Mayfield, put in an established quarterback. Same situation. You think Tom Brady wouldn't have found Odell? Come on now. Come on now, man.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and didn't Tampa Bay have Antonio Brown?
No, they added Antonio Brown. But before they had Antonio Brown, think about this. They had Evans.
Yeah.
They had OJ Howard, Cameron Britt.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. They added Gronk. This is people they had before that.
Oh, you're talking about last. Okay.
They had Godwin, Evans, Miller, Britt, and OJ Howard. They already had those 5 already.
Yeah.
And they had Ronald Jones. They already had those 6 people already before Brady even went there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
true. Yeah.
Like, yeah. Everybody's talking like, oh man, he just turned the Bucs all around. They were already.
No. Are people actually thinking that he turned the Bucs around?
I've heard multiple people say the Bucs would not have been in, and you're absolutely right. A good quarterback makes a difference. But if Jameis Winston doesn't throw 30 interceptions,
yeah,
and you have to think about that.
Well,
like,
I'm still saying that still says something about Tom Brady, though, right?
It absolutely. Again, I'm not denying the fact that Brady's good. Right. I'm not denying the fact that Brady is a great player. Brady is a good, all of the above. I am not taking none of that away from Tom Brady whatsoever. Yeah. What I'm saying is it's not like he went to the Miami Dolphins. They were bad. It's not like he went to the New York Jets. They were terrible.
Yeah.
Not like Tom Brady was going to go to the San Francisco, which on paper is a pretty good team. Offensively, they're not crazy. Defensively, they were really good.
Yeah.
He was thinking about going to Tampa Bay, which we just saw. Offensively, really good. Like you're not going in a situation in which you're taking a team from ass to grass. Like they were already pretty decent, and you are a good player, so you're going to elevate them. You know what I mean? It's like LeBron right now going to the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz are a good team.
Yeah.
We're not denying it. They're playing good basketball. They have two all-stars that nobody wants to give them credit because, again, it's Utah. Like LeBron said, I mean, nobody's picking Karl Malone and John Stockton. Nobody's picking them. They're a good team. But it's not like LeBron goes there, you're talking NBA championship. You know what I mean? Like, they need that one extra thing that's going to take them over the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brady.
Well, I mean, with that, with the state of the NBA right now, what do you think is going to happen this year? I mean, did you? I can't remember when we did this last one, but we were kind of just assuming that the Lakers were going to win it last year, considering the way everything went down, and it felt like it was going to happen.
I still think the Lakers are going to win it this year. As much as I like the Brooklyn Nets and what they're doing, I think something's going to happen and the Nets aren't going to make it, and the Lakers are going to take it.
Really?
I do not think the Clippers. Something is wrong with the Clippers. Something's wrong. You have too many choke artists on that team. Pat Bev is streaky at best. He's streaky. It's just the truth. Like Pat Beverly's streaky. Great player. He's streaky. You got Kawhi Leonard. You know he can play, but he's not a team guy. You know what I mean? Like he's a guy. I'm going to get my stuff, and I need the rest of y'all just to show up. Yeah. That's just he's not the let's go get him team like the team guy.
Right.
And we already know Paul George is playoff P, and that's PEE. Like when it comes to that time, like just when the playoffs come, man, he just turned into a whole different person. It's almost like he's running in a way. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like
it's odd, man.
Yeah, let me turn the light on, man. A little dark.
All right. Yeah, man. It's it'll be interesting, man. I'm curious to see what ends up going down in Brooklyn, because if those guys are able to mesh before the playoffs, it's going to be scary just because of KD.
Which I think that they are in a great position. I think that they're going to play good basketball. I think they are honestly probably, if I didn't take the Lakers, they're the team to win it. Yeah. It's just it's almost that one thing where it's too good to be true, man. You know what I mean? Like it's just it looks way too good, man, just to be like, all right, we're together, championship. You know what I mean? Like I don't think they're going to have the same route that the Warriors had. You know, like I feel like somebody's gonna get hurt, and then something's gonna happen, and they're just not gonna win it, man. Kyrie's gonna claim the Earth's flat. Somebody's gonna say it's not. He's gonna get mad and quit. Like something's gonna happen where they don't. Something.
I think Kyrie is just he sees a bigger picture outside of basketball, and I think that's why a lot of people get mad at him, because I think everybody wants him to focus only on basketball, and he's like, fuck you. No, I'm also going to live my life and say what I want to say.
But that's where I have a problem in it. This is like us working a job. We have a job. We can do whatever we want to do outside the job, right? But if the job's like, yo, Tim, I need you to work because I'm paying you right now, and I'm like, hey, fuck you, I'm not coming to work, I'm gonna get fired. Like,
well, if you say fuck you, I'm not coming to work, yeah, you're gonna get fired, but you can call off.
But I mean, that's what Kyrie's doing essentially.
Well, what I don't even remember what ended up happening. I don't even know what happened. Didn't he have some like personal shit that was going on behind the scenes?
Dude, nobody knows what actually went on, because, and here's my thing, if something's personal going on, yeah, that's cool, true. Handle it and take care of it. But it can't be something personal going on and then you're sitting down having conferences with the mayor and you're at all these philanthropical meetings and stuff like that. Like it almost seems like he was just like, yo, I don't want to play basketball right now. Like I want to take care of this.
Yeah.
Which I
Yeah, I can
mean,
see that. It's like you could go to all those things in the off season type shit.
yeah, right now, like this is, or you can do it, just you need to be able to schedule it on time to work your job. Like the only reason why you're actually able right now, Kyrie, to do this is because we're paying you millions of dollars.
Yeah.
If you were just average Joe Schmo, you would be showing up to work, working, and still trying to do this in your spare time. That's perfectly fine. But like that's where I'm coming from as an owner standpoint. Like I'm paying you hundreds of millions of dollars, and I need you to play this game, which is going to keep these hundreds of millions of dollars coming in my pocket. And it's kind of like I get it. Like he's bigger picture. Go with that.
Right.
But if that's the case, step away from basketball for a little bit, do this bigger picture, and then come back if you're ready to do it.
Or do your thing and show up when you need to show up. Like,
don't just
like Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, bro. Go party, do a couple lines, go bang a couple hookers, and come play ball. It's just what he did, man. Like, yeah, man.
I think people are more accepting of that than they are of the bigger picture shit. Honestly. Like, I think people are just like, hey, yeah, if you wanted to go crazy, go party in Vegas, snort some blow, bang some hookers. That's crazy story. Like, everybody wants to be able to do that, but it's like, oh, like bigger picture stuff. It's like,
But here's my thing with that. Even though Dennis Rodman was doing all that, guess what he was still doing?
Playing basketball.
Showing up to play his job. Showing up to his job.
You gotta show up. You gotta show up. Yeah, you do.
At the end of the day,
yeah.
I just look at it like this: whether you're a millionaire or not, man, you're getting paid to do the job, right?
Yeah.
Show up and do the job. You can do whatever you want to do off camera after the game. Like do all that, but this is your job. Yeah. You gotta do your job, man.
Kyrie, because I'm thinking about it. Oh man, what was his name? I just forgot. Oh my god. Used to be the running back for the Texans.
Not Andre Johnson. Can't think of his name now, man. I know who you're talking about.
I can see his face, but like, I mean, he talks about, he has a bigger picture look on life. And he got, I think he ended up retiring early than, I think some people were like, oh, he's still got some time left or something like that. But, I think for some of these guys, they having the opportunity to either play the game or do bigger picture stuff. It's like, man, because you actually do have the opportunity to do some bigger picture stuff. So it's like, but then again, you got to show up, and you can, if you really want to do the bigger picture stuff, just take yourself out of the game altogether, and you could probably do a lot more in the world just knowing who you are,
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I guess starting to round this one out. What do you think spectating is going to look like in the future? Do you think we're ever going to get back to any form of watching sports like we used to?
I think it's going to come rather sooner than later. Again, I guess you could say bigger picture conspiracy theory, whatever you want to say. This corona, it ain't all adding up the way I look at it. And I mean, now that, new presidency change is in, all that stuff going on. Again, I'm not pro-Trump. I'm not pro-Biden. Let me put that out to begin with before this gets going. But it's just, it ain't necessarily adding up. Now they're about to lift restrictions. They got the vaccine out. They said if, like a certain amount of Americans get vaccinated, life can go back to regular. And it's just, it all isn't adding up. But I mean, I think by 2022, everything's going to be back to normal, man. It's going to be back to business as usual. This is going to be one of the footprints that we talk about, like, I remember what happened in 2020, like all 20, like that's going to be what we talk about for like what happened then. Like I survived Corona, what I like, I survived Y2K, 9/11. Like it's going to be one of those, where you were at when it went down, what happened to your life. Like By 2022, I think everything's gonna go back to homeos. Everything's gonna be good, man. Everything's gonna be moving. We're gonna be like living life like regular again.
Yeah, we will. We will
Hoping
see, man.
too.
That you said what now?
I said I'm hoping as well too. Like just get past all this stuff, man.
Oh yeah, man. Well, I know you don't. Are you into MMA that much?
I've been following it a little bit, man. I haven't been watching it as closely now, man. It looks weird without fans in the arena, man. Watching these guys fight, dude.
It's,
It looks so crazy.
it's odd, man. But since there's a big card tonight, even though you may or may not know who's fighting, do you want to take a shot at picking who you think is going to win? Because this podcast will probably be out on Wednesday, I'm thinking. So we'll get to see if our predictions are right.
Who we got, man? Who's on the card?
Okay, so we'll go with the top three fights. We'll go with the and all three of them are going to be title fights, but we'll go with the third fight down. Piotr Jan, Aljamain Sterling. Do you know either of those guys?
No, I don't. Fighting style. Just give me the fighting style. Right now.
Aljo is more of a wrestler. He has more of a wrestling background. Piotr trains at Tiger Muay Thai, so he has more of a Muay Thai background, but both are incredibly solid.
Muay Thai. Going with the Muay Thai guy on this one.
Piotr. Okay. Me too.
All right.
Second one, the co-main event, Amanda Nunes versus Megan Anderson.
Nunes. I already Nunes.
Yeah, I think anybody that is just like, if they hear Nunes, they're like, yeah, her.
Nah, because I actually know who the other one is in this one, but I'm gonna go Nunes knockout second round.
Second, okay. Yeah, did you see her fight with Cyborg?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I actually saw that one. Yeah.
Dude, she
well, you can really say
she's a badass, man. She is a badass.
I've never really felt sorry for anybody, but I really kind of felt sorry for Cyborg. Like her face was just
Dude, Cyborg's been doing that to people for years.
Yeah. And it's like you finally got it back. How does that feel? Because
oh man, that was a crazy ass fight. That was wild. But yeah, I'm going with Nunes too. I think Megan Anderson poses a lot of issues because of how she's a big 145er. She can pose a lot of issues for Nunes, but I think
Nunes just has more power behind all of her blows than Megan does. And I think Nunes is going to be able to land hers. I just think she's quicker. Like you said, she's big. I think Nunes is just going to be able to land them a lot quicker than. Yeah.
That should be a good one. But yeah, I'm going with Nunes on that one too. And the main event, Jan Blachowicz versus Izzy Adesanya, the last style bender.
You already know I'm taking Izzy, man.
You're going to Izzy? Yes, dude. He's going. He's going up in weight for this fight, right?
I know. I got this one going. I was talking with a friend about this again. I'm not crazy huge in the UFC. I do follow a little bit. I got Izzy third round.
Ooh.
Third round not the decision because it's going title fight. I want to say submission, but I don't think it's going to happen that way. I'm going third round.
Okay.
Third round, you can pick whatever, but I'm going third round on this one. I don't think it's going the distance.
It's crazy, man. I was actually thinking when I was driving back to my place earlier, I was thinking third round TKO with Izzy. So
I want to say Izzy's gonna tap him, but I don't see that happening. And I want to say knockout, but I'm just like
they're out of all the options. Izzy tapping out Jan would probably be the least.
That's what I'm saying.
The one that would be the most surprising. I'd be like, holy shit! If he would tap out Jan, that would be crazy.
I feel like Izzy's going in the bag for this one, man. He's going in the bag of tricks because you know about his kicks.
Oh yeah. I mean,
So
he's got everything. I mean, he's got a
that,
background in
that
kickboxing.
that's
His
what I'm
hands
saying.
are. He's different. He's
I
different
think
in there.
I think he's gonna pull something out the bag, man, because you know about his kicks. I don't think y'all's gonna let him get the kicks off. Personally, I don't
Man,
think he's actually gonna happen.
dude, I don't know that people some people that haven't followed MMA that might just be watching this fight, like, because Izzy going up a weight class, probably thinking like, oh man, Jan's gonna be so much bigger. Izzy's a big dude. If anybody saw him at the weigh-ins, like they're looking eye to eye. Like Izzy might even have a little bit of height on him. So it's gonna be, I can't wait, man. Yeah. So we'll see the if it plays out
See if we can go 3 for 3, man. We'll see.
like we predicted. We'll see what happens. I might be texting you later, like, oh, we fucked up. But
Hey, if Nunez goes down, just throw the whole thing away,
no,
man.
gosh, we're not
For
putting
sure,
a
pick.
podcast.
If he goes down, throw the whole thing.
Oh man, but yeah, that Polish power. If he catches Izzy, man, it's gonna be interesting. So dude, I'm so stoked for these fights, but we'll see what happens.
I know that's your thing, man. UFC is your thing. I know you're like excited for this one.
Yeah, very much so. This card is stacked too. Like I can't wait. Yeah, looking forward to it. Well, shit, man. Anything else in the sports world that you wanted to get into on this one before we round it out?
I mean, you covered everything, man. The main stuff we normally talk about, but just the main stuff that, big news, Ohio wise, just covering it, man. Just the question to ask you, man, out there in LA, man.
Yeah.
Is Justin Herbert the real MVP, man?
Who?
Justin Herbert, man. Them Chargers?
I don't
Nah.
even. I don't even know him. Yeah, I haven't even. I'm not even ringing a bell. Like not even ringing a bell. Justin Herbert. No, can't even. Yeah, I don't pay attention to the Chargers. sorry, LA people or Charger fans, but like, I
Oh
don't know. Like
man.
when I first moved out here, I felt like I just moved out to the West Coast Browns. I was just like, oh, Jesus. Like it was, yeah, Justin Herbert. Yeah, not even ringing a bell, man.
I don't know.
I just don't think I've been watching that much NFL. Like I didn't watch a ton of NFL this year.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so I don't know. What you tell me? Like let me know. Should I look out for him?
That's one guy, man. I would definitely keep him on the radar, man. I think he's gonna have a very prosperous career. I don't know if he'll get much of a bowl under his belt, but I mean he's gonna have some deep playoff runs, I feel like, man.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. They did good with that pick, man. That kind of came out of nowhere, but they did good with that one.
Okay. I don't even know what position does he play. I don't even know what position he plays.
Quarterback, man, for the LA Chargers.
Jeez, I had no clue. No idea.
They had
I pay it. I have. Yeah, that just shows that I paid zero attention to that LA Chargers.
golly, boy, just all on the Chargers. Poor guys, man. Poor guys.
Hey man, I got my own sports purgatory crap
Yeah,
that I've witnessed over the years. I don't need to take on anybody else's. I'm in a good place right now.
feeling good, man. The Browns are winning. We're good.
Feeling good, man. I'm just yeah. I'm gonna keep that energy up in LA.
Nice, man. Nice.
Well, all right then, man. Well, good talking to you like always. And until the next one, man. Looking
Yeah,
forward.
man. Definitely, man. We need to do another mid-year one or something like that, man. Do some one around the summertime, man.
Mhm.
Catch up on everything happening.
Yeah,
Free agency, maybe one after the draft, something like that, man. We'll get it together.
we'll figure it out, man.
All
All
right,
right,
man.
people. Hope you enjoyed it. We are out of here. See ya.